There it is. Holy shit! Welcome back, Rich Nation. My name is AJ, and today we're going to be continuing Classroom of the Elite episodes 3 and 4. And holy hell, was the first couple episodes very good. I mean, I thought something was off pretty quickly, but now that there's so much like intrigue with the way the system works and them being able to get points, and like the school is absolutely no joke. I know there's definitely more mysteries than what was shown so far from just the first couple episodes. With just that, I think it could get crazier and crazier. So I'm very excited to see where this show goes. If you have not subscribed to the channel, now is the perfect time to do it. And hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. But you can also check out the Patreon for the full reaction of this and all the exclusive shows that we do over there, which is a ton. Definitely check that out, and let's go ahead and start. Man is an animal that makes bargains. No other animal does this. No dog exchanges bones with another. Very interesting. Quotes every episode. There's some really good scores. I mean, we can't say that. There's a couple bad ones too, though. I guess the average is good. What the hell is that animation? Was there something that happened in the first two episodes I just didn't notice? Like, I like how she immediately thinks he did something to make the scores. I didn't even think there was foul play like that. I wonder. 3 days before the test. Okay, so we're gonna see some. Why the fuck are you getting that close to his eye? Jesus. Man, she stopped that really quick. What the hell? How can you even say that? I mean, just look at your face. He really is trying to get you angry. Well, he did eventually come. Because he's distracted, for one. Okay, so she actually got involved and tried to help that way. Oh, it's good to get an example from a different one in a higher class. I didn't. Yeah, that's smart.
一昨年の1学期中間テストの問題を持ってませんか？はあ？それを譲ってほしいんです。
なんで俺にそんな話を持ってきた？
簡単ですよ。
I'm a little worried that they're gonna like they got all these scores, but what if somebody finds that out? That like because now it's seeming like he got, you know, was able to like get the answers or whatever, or do something that you're not supposed to do, and they check everything. Which makes me think they must have cameras everywhere, because how are they noticing different things or whatever? But like, and right, like actually like logging different stuff to be able to be like, okay, they did that. This is how many things happened or whatever. Like the teacher had said in the first episode. I don't know. I feel like this could backfire in the future.
事実、先輩はこうして美味しくない山菜定食を食べてますし。
いくら払える
？1万ポイント。
Wow.
それが上限です。
Wow, that is a lot. That's why you bring her. She has a superpower.
2万5000。
1万。
He's not gonna budge.
2万。
Nope.
1万です。
Not even 11,000.
1万5000。
Nope.
それ以下は無理だ。
わかりました。
Oh, really? Okay.
その代わり、
I mean, that still
テ
works.
ストもつけてください。
And you got a bonus from it. Okay.
過去問を使うなんてちょっとずるい気がして。
I mean, it
俺は
is.
そうは思わない。さっきの先輩の反応を見て確信したよ。過去問を生徒間で取引するのは珍しいことじゃない。
I mean, I'm sure people do it. Doesn't mean it's not like cheating.
今年のテストとは無関係ってこともあるし。
Well, actually, that's true. They could change the questions and stuff. Yeah.
全く違う問題になるとも思えない。
Maybe they won't look at. Yeah, that might be a little different if it's not the same test.
退学を阻止するための保険、同じだ。一言一句たがわない。
すごい。
Oh.
じゃあ中間テストも？
おそらく同じ内容だろうな。
Okay, then it is kind of.
見せてあげようよ。
いや、須藤たちにはまだ見せない。
どうして？
テスト前日にネタばらしする。そしたらみんなはどうする？
必死に過去問を暗記する。
そういうこと。
Oh, so he's gonna utilize that.
何気に切れ者？
Because if you do it early, they could just procrastinate the whole time.
なあ、一つお願いがあるんだが。この過去問を櫛田が入手したことにしてくれないか？
いいけど、綾野浩二君はそれでいいの？
俺は不用意に目立つことはしたくないんだ。それに、櫛田はクラスメートに起用されてるからな。
She could get blamed for it faster than him by doing that as well.
みんなごめんね。帰る前に渡したいものがあるの。テスト問題？櫛田さんが作ったの？実はこれ過去問なんだ。昨日の夜3年の先輩にもらったの。
過去問？
一昨年も去年もほとんど同じ問題が出たんだって。だからきっと本番で役に立つと思うの。
なんだよ、無理して頑張らなくてもよかったな。
助かるぜ。
高円寺君も。
あいにくだが、私にそんなものは必要ない。これからデートの約束があるんでね。
Maybe he has his own way of getting answers, or he's just intelligent. Well, in some way intelligent. Naturally good at tests.
聞いてもいいかしら。
櫛田ちゃん、ありがとう。恩に着るでござる。
正直感心している。お前たちがこんな高得点を取れるとは思わなかったぞ。お前たちの頑張りは認めよう。だが。
What?
お前は赤点だ。
What?
須藤。
So one person got a failing score. Yeah. At this school, any student who fails to meet the required score on a midterm or final exam will be expelled. Fails to meet the okay, needs to be above 50 or whatever. The threshold for expulsion is 50% of the average score of the threshold for expulsion is 50% of the average score of the rest of the class in any given subject. Huh. Okay. 50% of the average, which if everyone does really, that means that kind of forces you to have to really Like everybody needs to try to do good. Because if you have like, I mean, if there's most of the class like getting better scores because they've been studying and doing that or whatever, and you're like the odd person out, then that score is going to keep going up. And if the average score ends up being like 60, 70, 8, it just, yeah, I think it behooves of you to just make sure that you're doing everything everybody else is.
ふざけんな。なんで俺が赤なんだよ。
今回の中間テストの赤点ラインは
Right
40点
below it, but
中間
39.
テストの平均点は 79.6。それを2で割ると小数点は四捨五入され赤点は40未満ということになる。
40点。
短い間だったがご苦労だった。
Wow, that's quick.
放課後退学届を出してもらうことになる。
どうにかならないんですか？須藤君がこのまま退学なんて。
Is there like some type of like
ルールはルールだ。諦めろ。これでホームルームは終わ
I
る。
wonder what the average like of people being expelled from this is.
ねえ、みんないいの？このままだと須藤君退学になっちゃうのよ。親の工事か？
悪い。ちょっとトイレに。
Oh, so he did something here to be able to get him not expelled? Somehow sweet talker, though he's not really the type to do that, so I don't know about
もう
that.
すぐ授業が始まるぞ。
先生、一つ質問させてもらってもいいでしょうか。
質問？
今の日本は、この社会は平等だと
Oh,
思い
he's
ます
bringing that up.
ずいぶんとぶっ飛んだ話だな。私がそれに答えて意味があるのか？
大事なことです。答えてもらえませんか？
私なりの見解で言えば、当然世の中は平等じゃない。
Oh, yeah, that's an obvious thing.
俺もそう思います。平等なんて言葉は偽りだと、平等に適用されているように見えなければならない、ということですよ。
True.
何のつもりだ？
須藤の英語の点数、1点売ってください。
Wait, what? That's an option?
入学式の日に言いましたよ。
買い物には学生証端末に
Oh,
付与されている
yes, the thing she said. Everything. It means
あら
anything.
ゆるものを
Yeah.
ポイントで買うことができる。
ルールは平等に適用されなければ
Holy shit, I didn't take that literally.
中間テストにも。
なるほど。確かにそういう考え方もできなく
Wow.
はない。
じゃあ、
だが、お前の手持ちで買える金額と
Oh, yeah, because it's not like there's a price on
い
it.
くらなんですか？
So she can set it to anything.
特別に今この場で10万ポイントを払うな
Well,
ら
she knows he doesn't have that.
彼を残すメリットの方が大きいと判断しました。
Wow. So they're gonna be
やっ
broke.
ぱりお前たちは面白いな。いいだろう。須藤の1点を売ってや
To
る。
keep one person
大
there.
学取り消しの件、お前たちから伝えておけ。
いいんですね。
10万で売ると約束したからな。仕方ない。
Wow. So the
学校
rules.
史上一度たりとも D クラスが上に上がったことはない。そ
Whoa.
れでも上がくつもりか？
So you just get stuck there.
私は上のクラスに上がります。
学校から見放された不良品のお前たちがどうやって上を目指す？
お言葉ですが、不良品はほんの少しの変化を与えるだけで良品に変わる。
True.
私はそう考えます。
I didn't know it's never been done. First class.
C クラスが伸び
Yeah.
また龍炎の仕業ですか。
That's gonna be tough.
危険な男です。
退屈ですね。
Hmm.
A クラスは1004ポイント。対する俺たちは87
That's
ポイ
gonna
ン
be
ト。
a long climb.
正直、A クラスを目指すのは無謀だな。
私は諦めないわ。必ず A クラスに上がってみせる。
そっか。
何？
いや、堀北のおかげだ。須藤を助けてくれてありがとう。
Yeah, he wouldn't have been able to do it without her.
私はただ 自分のためにやっただけ。
点数がギリギリになるのを見越してわざと点数を下げたんだろ。
Oh.
一度は突き放そうとしたやつに対して随分と優しいんだな。
Yeah, she's not
私は A
heartless.
クラスに上がるために。
そういうことにしとこうか。
ねえ、その態度気に入らないわね、綾野浩二君。
え
Duh.
苦しみながら後悔するのと
What is with this music
後悔
change?
する。あなたはどちらが好みかし
What
ら。
the fuck?
よくわからないがどっちも嫌っていうか、なんでコンパスを抜き身で持って。
Oh God! What the fuck just happened? Like she stabbed him, but with what? I know it's not deadly, but still.
それにしても危なかったよな。もし櫛田ちゃんが過去問持ってきてくれなかったら池と須藤は完全にアウトだったよな。
I don't know. That seemed more deadly to. That seemed more like maybe it was just the tone and everything.
ねえ、綾野浩二君、
どうした？
どうやって須藤君の退学を取り消してもらえたの？
Is he gonna say?
堀北が学校に掛け合ったんだ。
Oh, see, he never puts himself in
何の説
there.
明もないまま赤点を取っただけで退学になるのはおかしいってな。
ちょっと堀北さんが
あんなマジな堀北は初めて見たよ。
Actually, that'll make her look better to them too.
俺なんかのために。
私のために
She's just gonna keep saying that, but she doesn't look very happy. Whoa, that is the meanest I've said this. I kind of joked about it, but I said like it is kind of weird. Like it makes me overthink things when like you think like someone's being too nice all the time. You're wondering like, what are they actually thinking? I said something to that effect on like the first episode, and I kind of just like let it go since we weren't seeing an example of anything, but that just shows it right there. Maybe the personality that we're seeing, there's more to her. And most of the time when somebody's super nice like that, there is. So it shouldn't be too surprising.
悪いな、手伝ってもらって。
こっちこそ部屋を使わせてくれてありがとう。
いや、
綾野浩二君はさ、
なんだ？
やっぱり堀北さん。
Oh, was she jealous? Maybe?
いつも一緒にいるみたいだし、クラスの女子の間でも結構噂になってるんだよ。
堀北とは友達。いや、ただの隣人だ。
そっか。
She left her phone? Was it on purpose or accident?
確か女子は上の階。
Must have been on accident, I would assume.
こんな時間にどこへ行くんだ？
Yeah. Okay, maybe I do need to like. Okay, I'm gonna continue to overthink then. Maybe I should, because this seems odd.
うざい。自分が可愛いと思ってお高く止まりやがって。
Oh shit!
最悪。
There it is.
最悪。死ねばいいのに。
Holy shit!
うざい。
Hold on. Man, okay, yeah. My first thought ended up being this is more extreme than what I thought, but holy hell was she hiding a fucked up personality. Holy shit. Okay. I think the rule of this show is to overthink, make sure you check everything, and any little thing I notice, maybe I should really take a thought. If someone's acting too nice, maybe there's a reason. Holy shit.
俺だ、綾野浩二だ。櫛田は携帯忘れて。
She didn't even try to act like.
聞いたの？
聞いてないって言ったら信じるか？
Whoa. Whoa.
誰かに話したら容赦しないから。
もし話したら？
あんたにレイプされそうになった。
What the fuck? God damn, let's just step it up fucking 5 levels. What the fuck? Are you? She pulled that card. What the?
分かったからその手を離してくれ。
We got a camera somewhere? I really do got a fucking radar for this sometimes. Holy shit.
私が聞きたいのは一つだけ。今ここで知ったことを誰にも話さないと誓えるかどうか。分かった。綾野浩二君を信じるよ。
She gonna. Oh my god.
また秘密ができちゃったね。
なあ、 教えてくれ。どっちが
Yeah,
本当
what?
のお前なんだ。
What? You have a split personality or something? That doesn't seem right. It seems like you're just acting, but like for what reason? Like what reason would she act like that? Like, and really, holy hell. Like I thought it was suspicious just because it's my normal, like, that's way too nice. But I never could have guessed. I definitely couldn't have guessed how extreme that was. Now, if we're, I love doing this and kind of just guessing, like, I know we've already met some pretty complicated characters. Somebody that we thought was just heartless, and even though I didn't truly think she was 100%, we've met one that obviously cares for some people in some ways, and you know, trying to like do things for, you know, her brother and try to show and go to class A. We got the opposite, and then with this we got the opposite, where it's like she's faking this absolute super happy, be friends with everybody personality, and in reality she's like this angry, bitter girl that I'm guessing she could possibly be somebody that was, I don't know, comes from like she must have a really crazy backstory, I'm assuming, to get this way, or that's just her in general, which wouldn't, I feel like the writing has been so good in this show that I would assume there's a complicated backstory. I love that though. That changes the dynamic like crazy. I like even some of the stuff, like them being able to change the points and stuff, like the way they did, like everything's negotiable and stuff is like cool. But is there really rules then if you say like, but I guess like you're following the rules, but at the same time it's like kind of bending but not really. It's interesting. This show really does make you think. We should not be upset that others hide the truth from us when we hide it so often from ourselves. You know, these get more and more real every time, and I can't counter them.
1年 B クラスの皆さん、今日も元気にいってみましょう。
Okay, so this is 1B.
昨日飲みすぎちゃって。
They're drinking. Oh, that's the teacher?
発表します。
That's the teacher?
プライベートポイントは明日振り込まれます。私たちポイント上がってる。やったやった。
How is it happening with that type of techer? Maybe she's just having a bad day because of a little hungover. Oh, okay, so that's her class. Some of these classes, it seems like maybe a single person or a few people are like carrying them.
担任の先生はちょっと変な人だけど、クラスメートはみんないい人で、だから私はみんなと一緒に。
That seems too good to be true. We have learned to doubt things in this and question everything after last episode's reveal. Yeah, her.
乗らないの？
乗ります。乗らせていただきます。
おはよう、綾野浩二君。後ろ髪ちょっと寝癖できてるよ。
最近流行の自然ヘアだ。
That's gotta be odd. Like knowing the truth.
綾野浩二君って。
卒業まで同じ寮で過ごすんだよな。
That's gonna be odd.
お前が櫛田と一緒に行動するなんて。
部屋の前で待たれてたのよ。
What's her game with her? Obviously, we know she doesn't like her. Like that's. We saw the look,
せっかく一緒に投稿
but we don't know why.
おはよう、櫛田さん。一ノ瀬さん。あ、もしかして櫛田さんの彼氏？それはないよ。
完全に本音だろうな。
Yeah.
そういえば
So I mean, the initial thought was she had a crush, but now that we know her true personality, that's not it at all.
少しトラブルがあってな。1年へのポイントの支給が遅れている。
マジっすか
I wonder why that is.
学校側の不備なんだからなんかおまけとかないんすか
Because maybe the first years are like the last ones to be paid. Yeah, I can tell we're gonna get to know her
急
too,
に呼び出して。
何の用だ一体。
since they've been kind of making her a focus the last
終
episode
わ
or
らせ
so.
るから。されるみたいなの。ここで。
What? Like you know you're gonna get asked out there?
いや、
And you're not wanting
俺
it?
がいない方がいいんじゃない。
でも私、恋愛とかわからないし。昨日これがロッカーに入ってて。
Oh no.
そのことそんなつもりはなくて。
There's no way that's your first
どう
one.
したら傷つけないで断れるのかわからなくって。だから綾野浩二君に彼氏のふりをしてもらって。
We're doing that. We're doing the pretend to be my boyfriend. Yeah, see? Even he knows. This cliche thing?
方がいいと思うぞ絶対。
あの人はごめんね千尋ちゃん知らない人連れてきて。この人は D クラスの綾野浩二君で。
What?
もしかして彼氏とか。
Is
綾野浩二君はね。
that the person that gave the letter?
ただの友達だ。
Yeah.
一ノ瀬、誰かに告白するってそんな生優しいものじゃない。
Ah.
毎日のように悶々とした時間を過ごしてそれでもできなくて喉元まで出かかった好きの言葉はなかなか出てこなくて、お前はその子の必死な思いに応えないといけないんじゃないのか。
I mean, he's not wrong, but has he had this experience before?
俺が言うのもなんだけどな。
We don't know his past, so who knows? And that's the rejection. No wonder she was like, okay. She knew she was gonna reject her, so.
私千尋ちゃんを傷つけないことばかり考えて逃げようとしてた。間違ってたね。明日からはいつも通りにするって言ってたけどできるかな。
二人次第だな。
Yeah, sometimes, a lot of the time, things don't go back to
今日
normal.
はごめんね。
Or people are acting and, you know, act like they aren't bothered, but they
た
are.
まにはこんな日があっても。
綾野浩二君に借りができちゃったね。
And okay. 3-1C. Oh, that's the, okay. That's the incident when they were like picking on him or whatever. But what about it?
綾野浩二君大変なことになっちゃったかも。
C クラスのバスケ部員が学校側に対し須藤を訴え出た。
Oh, they're blaming him. Okay. That's some bullshit.
正当防衛だ、正当防衛。レギュラーになった俺のこと妬んで、あいつらが喧嘩ふっかけてきたんだって。
Oh, so this is a different incident?
目撃者でもいれば話は違うがな。
That girl looks guilty.
レッドヘア君、君の存在は美しくない。
Guy's kind of self-obsessed.
ダメだ。
1週間後、生徒会を交えて C クラスと話し合いが行われる。その結果次第ではポイントは剥奪。
Man.
須藤にも処分が下されるだろう。
騒ぐだろうな。
They throw these type of parties down? What the hell? I guess the higher classes get like the cool parties and drinking and stuff.
リュウエンさん、もしかしたら見られたかも。須藤と喧嘩してた時、近くで人の気配が。Bad boy.
Everything's okay if you say bad boy before you beat the shit out of somebody. Oh my god.
被害者らしくなったな。ありがとうございます。
What the fuck?
計画通りうまく踊れよ。
Well, they're setting him up, obviously.
あなたもそう思う？須藤君が退学しておけばよかったと。
俺は別に。お前こそどうなんだよ。手を貸した者の一人として。
今の私たちは0ポイン
But
ト。
somebody
仮に
else
退学者が出て
beat them up
これ
afterwards.
以上減りようがない。
まあそうかもな。
何？気に障る言い方ね。
見えてない加点や減点がないとは言い切れないからな。
どういう意味？
表示されてないだけで本当はマイナスポイントが増えるかもしれない。
Yes, yes, this is exactly what I was talking about in a previous episode, where this is not everything is said, and they might have cameras, they must have cameras everywhere. So there might be like a system that they have in place that, like, I don't know who the hell is recording this type of shit, but like, if there is a complicated system on point deductions and stuff, then anything you do could be, have to do with it.
した場合の減点は今じゃなく将来に行われるかもしれない。 A クラスに上がるための条件に退学者がいないことがあるかもしれない。
The rules are crazy.
それに須藤は運動能力や部活の優秀さでいずれ役に立つ可能性が。
みんな聞いてほしい。
And for
僕は同
what?
じクラスの仲間を信じたい。みんなで協力して目撃者や手がかりを探すのはどうだ。
There's somebody that obviously saw it and then beat up the other people.
私もそう思う。まず私たちが信じてあげないと。
クシラちゃんが言うなら大賛成。
ねえ、堀北さんと綾野浩二君も協力してくれるよね。
え、
あそこまで行ったんだからあなたは須藤君を助けてあげるのよね。
いや、
I can't tell who that would be and if it's one of them or in a different class. Because one, we haven't really seen her fight. We know he can
私たち
fight.
で頑張ろう。
She's crazy, so she might be able to beat the shit out of people.
須藤君自身は関わらない方がいいよね。
そうだな。当事者が動くと良くないだろ
だよね。うん。須藤君には私からそう伝えとく。それじゃあ放課後にね。
I would never be able to look at her the same
目
way.
撃者も手がかりも見つからないね。
つかさ、須藤が嘘言ってる可能性だってあるくね。だよな。
う。平田たちの方は。
連絡してみたけど収穫はなしみたい。はーい。綾野浩二君、櫛田さん。
And then that's the wild card right there.
うちのクラスの人から
I don't know
聞いたん
why
だけ
she
ど
would do that
何か
though.
調べてる？
But she did see and correct them the first time that they got into an altercation.
C クラスと。いいの？ありがとう。何するの？
多分計算だ。いや、うかつに他のクラスに頼るのは。
Yeah.
変な風にはしないから。綾野浩二君には借りがあるしね。
Which is true. Like, there's no benefit. Now that we know that people can obviously be hiding who they are, there's no benefit, you would think, to helping out other classes. Actually, it would be to your detriment, it would feel like, especially when, because it's a big competition between classes. So you would think you would want to screw each other over or do stuff. Now, there's the other thing to think about where he was talking about ways, maybe there's things in play that makes you have deductions later, or there could be stuff like if you do something purposely to hurt another class or something that could make you lose points. There's lots of things in play that you don't know about. So that's one thing to think too. I love that. This is very easy to create theories. I do love that. If you were a witness to the incident that occurred.
綾野浩二君。
Yeah.
おう。この告知。
神崎君のアイデアでね。学校の電子掲示板で情報を募って。お、早速メール来てる。
どんな内容だ。
須藤君が喧嘩した一人、石崎君って中学時代の彼だったみたい。
須藤一人に一方的に負けるのは不自然だ。
だよね。
Right.
やられたのはわざとかもしれないな。3人が須藤を罠にはめるために動いた。
Which is the obvious thing.
私もそう思う。とりあえず情報くれた子には、匿名か。どうやってポイントを送ればいいんだろう。
それなら知ってるぞ。
だったら教えて。
無防備だな。学生証借りるぞ。
いいよ。よっ。 また何か情報入ったら連絡するね。
Okay, so they shared information that way. Wait. Oh, that's her total. Holy shit. That's her total points? Is that what it was? Private points. You can see that when you transfer stuff, I guess. You can see the total that way. That's hers. 2,600,000. Holy fuck. How did she get that much fucking points? What the hell? That's what he was saying. Yeah. Like, we know she's helping everybody. Everybody likes her in the class. Like, what is she doing to get that many points? That's suspicious as fuck. Because you would think you just never spend anything then.
調査の情報交換会議。
つーかこの部屋ほんとなんもねえよな。
そうだね。私物全然ないね。備え付けのものだけ。綾野浩二君ってミニマリスト？
物を買うポイントがないだけだ。というか、お前らはどうやって入った？
合鍵作ったから。
Of course. What the hell?
まあいいか。堀北。
Her face.
目撃者のことで。帰るわ。
ああ。
堀北さん、来てくれたんだ。
Now I understand her disdain for her. Like, even if she doesn't know.
話を聞くだけでもいいしな。
実りの薄い努力をしている。
Maybe she just sees through the
ア
act.
ドバイスしてあげるわ。目撃者はいる。それも身近にね。
知っているのか？
私たちのクラスのさくらさん。
Oh, so it's the girl that looked very awkward and like they knew something. Yeah. Did she get like she's just afraid to say something? Or I thought maybe she got like threatened in some way, or she's afraid bad will happen if she says something.
櫛田さんが教室でみんなに呼びかけたとき、ほとんどの人が櫛田さんに注目してた中、彼女だけ目を伏せてた。彼女だけね。
あ
ダメ、出ない。
くそ、やっと有力な情報が出てきたのによ。
でも仮に彼女が証言してくれたとしてもあまり意味のないことね。事件が正当防衛だったかどうかなんて些細な問題でしかない。そのことに気づいてる？
はあ？
綾野浩二君なら堀北さんの言っていたことの意味わかるかもって。
Why does she still talk to him like that if she knows?
本当に正当防衛だったとしても、
Like he knows.
根本的な問題はそこじゃない。暴言を吐いたり、暴力を振るったり、人から恨まれても仕方ない態度をとっているだろう。仮に殺人事件が起きたとする。容疑者は2名。1人は過去に殺人を犯した経歴があり、もう1人は真面目に生きてきた善良な人間。
Jesus.
どっちを信じる？
The obvious one, yeah. That would be the quick assumption to believe.
ある材料で判断を下さなければならない。
Like we've seen this like where the person that might come off bad and look bad. I mean, we've seen this in the show, it seems like, so far, more than one. So like probably isn't as bad, and there could be people that seem to be, like in this case, law-abiding citizens or whatever, and then actually be horrible people or be the ones. So it's like you can't make those quick assumptions.
けど、
Yeah.
それならせめて言ってあげなきゃダメだと思う。それが友達だよ。
櫛田は櫛田の考えを貫けばいい。
やっぱ綾野浩二君は堀北さんのこと何でも分かっちゃうんだね。
そんなことはないと思うぞ。
ねえ、綾野浩二君、もしね、私が
What?
私がなんでもない。
Maybe she's afraid. Maybe there's part of her that's like just afraid to show her real personality. Because then no one would want to be her friend and all that. But that's kind of...
ごめんなさい、私この後予定あるから。時間は取らせないよ。大切なこと知らないです。何も知らない。
Trying to force that information out of her is going to be...
大丈夫？
What? Oh, her camera broke.
嘘。映らない。ごめん。私が。いえ、 私の不注意ですから。
Did she have pictures of it happening or something?
巻き込まれたくない。私の持っている仮面を誰にも知られたくない。
Her mask. Oh, like mask. Kind of. Man, that seems to be a theme. Like her mask, like she doesn't want to see people, you know, like showing her real self. That's what I'm assuming she means by that. We're seeing kind of a theme of that with people in the show. So what's her true personality? I mean, this is it's kind of normal in real life where you're putting on a face. Like if you have a daily life, you go to work, you go to school or whatever, you're not 100 most of the time. Now there are people that show 100% of themselves for the most part, but those are ones that are, it's very few and in between. A lot of the time you are putting on like some type of form of the best version of yourself a lot of the time. Some people have more extremes where they're just totally a different type of person because their real self is not good in their eyes, or they're trying to show the best, you know, something that other people want to see. As we've seen examples of this in this show. So it is kind of true to life with that, but this show seems to be the more extreme. There seems to be more extreme versions of that. And it does seem like a running trend. Like how many people are hiding their true selves in this show, and to what degree? I said this earlier. I really love that this show has, I'm big into like theorizing on things, and there's just some shows there's not much to theorize on, or it's just a fun. I've had quite a few of those lately where you can't really make too many theories because it's just, you know, it's a show that flows and it's not that type of show. This one is kind of giving me, like, it's definitely feeding me on theorizing shit for sure, because I feel like every little, especially once we got that reveal last episode, it made me feel very comfortable. And even episode 1, obviously there's things that like are odd from the very beginning, and it seems it's gonna like, it feels like it's gonna slowly unravel, but man, does this feed my like love for theorizing and questioning everything, just like I do in openings. It's fun. So it's just I love doing it. But if you guys are new, subscribe, smash that like button, hit that notification bell. You can also check out these episodes early and uncut over on my Patreon, patreon.com/ajrich123. That link is down below. Exclusive shows and a bunch of stuff over there, and it's a way to support the channel. I'd much appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.